Hey y'all, welcome back to another video with Life with Chester for the Bold and Beautiful, May 8th, 2025. Okay, so on today's episode, look, I don't forget. I watched that hours ago. Let me see. So on today's episode, we're gonna start with Steffi and Hope. So Steffi was still telling Hope, what's going on with Liam. She ended up telling her that it's bad or whatever, that Liam's dying. And that whole episode was the same thing. I think on tomorrow's episode is when we actually get to see Bill find out. Finally, that's the reaction I've been waiting on. Hold on. But yeah, today's episode, Steph was still telling her that it's bad that Liam's dying. So they end up having the discussion about what's going on with him. She ends up telling Hope about Liam, him being sick, about how they at first he was getting better. She said something about he was getting better. I said, how did he get better? I don't understand. He was just in the hospital. But yeah, she was telling Hope that Liam was actually getting better. I said, I don't recall that. Then he still ain't made it back to the hospital. I said, by the time he make it back to the hospital, that's probably when they're gonna find out he either don't have what they think he have, or they're gonna find a cure. If I'm not mistaken, I think Finn was on the phone with somebody. Did they say Germany or something like that? So they're gonna bring somebody in. That's what it's looking like. Somebody in to save him. Hold on. But yeah, on today's episode, like I said, Hope was in disbelief and she was wondering why he didn't tell her himself, and Steph was just telling her that he didn't want to burden nobody or nothing like that. They end up hugging, and I said, "Here they go, y'all." What I say? What I say? I said they always. I said they always end up back. What they said? We want big, happy, extended family. Look, they hugged and everything, and I think Hope thanked her for telling her what was going on. Hold on, let me see what does this say. It wasn't nothing going on. You didn't miss too much. Same thing. Hope found out everything. And on tomorrow's, excuse me, Lord. On tomorrow's episode, Bill's supposed to find out. What else happened with Steffi and Hope? They were just talking about Liam. With Finn and Liam, Finn was still checking on Liam, trying to see how he was doing and everything. And then he got up and he got dizzy or whatever again. And I was like, shouldn't they take him to the hospital? Like, what? I don't understand. He over here at El Jardino. But yeah, that's what happened. He got up, he tried to stand or whatever, and that's when he almost passed out. Finn ended up helping him or whatever, but he was still trying to convince him to at least tell his daddy or whatever. So I'm assuming that's why he takes Bill. Hold on. Leon should have been told Hope it would not have been fair for Hope not to know she is a child with him too. Exactly. True. But now I wonder how you gonna feel when you find out that Steffi told anyways. I mean, it don't matter at this point anyways. But yeah, she finally knows. What else happened with Finn and Liam? He was just telling him his family deserves to know they'll support him and stuff like that. That's when they showed Liam go to El Jardino, and he ends up texting Bill telling him to meet or whatever. And Bill said that he was gonna meet him. Yeah, and I've been still saying I'm waiting on his reaction. I'm waiting on to find out how he feel because he don't went home and ain't seen no blood on his doggone carpet. I've been talking about that for weeks now. I said, how he hold on, what's that? I said, how he don't went home and ain't seen his blood on the floor, on the carpet or whatever. But yeah, he's supposed to be finding out on tomorrow's episode finally. But nothing happened really. Luna don't pop her tail up. Wait, we skipping a part. Hold on. But yeah, Sheila and Luna. So Sheila ends up telling Luna that Deacon is going to accept her. She working on convincing him to have accept her or whatever. I said, see, he never where he should be. He needs to see Sheila and Luna together. Then Luna done went over here. She said she done letting Steffi, control things or interfere with what she got going on. She finally know who her father is, and she been waiting on this. She admired Finn for a long time, so Steffi not gonna stop. I said, yeah, too crazy. Too crazy. Both of y'all going to jail eventually. But yeah, Luna was saying how she refuses to let Steffi stop her from having a relationship with Finn. She told Sheila, you might be okay with that, but I'm not. So that's when she ends up going. And he was like, what are you doing here or whatever? And she was like, I checked to see, if Steffi was here, wasn't nobody here or whatever. And by that time, it went off. If I'm not mistaken, it went off. I think she brought up something about being his daughter. She told him she misses him. I said, you ain't even hung out with this man. She told me she missed him and stuff like that. But as far as everything else, that's it. That's all. I wrote down Luna and Sheila twice. I meant Luna and Finn. Let me make sure though. Finn chased on Liam. Luna refused to let Steffi stop her. Yeah, that's it. Then nothing happened, so y'all really didn't miss nothing. Y'all did not miss anything. The highlights, or I shouldn't say highlights, but the thing that stood out is Hope found out. Leon finally takes Bill, and he's supposed to find out tomorrow's episode. Luna decided that she's going to go confront Finn and tell him she missed him and all this other stuff. But that's it. That's all. Let me know your thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, this is her girl. So, we say.